She actually talked to me, man.
Get out of here.
Oh, yeah.
I've really gotten into the bad habit of asking a huge amount of questions lately.
It's just a question between friends. You know?
She actually talked to me, man.
All right. Well, welcome to 5 Great Questions. My name is Alden Olmsted, and this is actually the true title of this one should be 3 Great Songs, because that's what we're going to talk about with Reggie Coates. And we're going to talk about the Mexicali Outreach program that Azusa Pacific University ran from, I don't know, I guess early 70s to maybe now or maybe a year or two ago, but it looks like it's been going quite a long time. So I'm hoping that a lot of those audience members and people that went on those trips will really enjoy this episode. I was searching for some of my Mexicali shirts, and I think in all of my moves, I think I had to make the hard choice a few years ago and let them go. So the best I could find was kind of a retro one that says free hugs. That it's probably something that I would have worn this back in the day. And it's the one that makes me think the most of it. And then I do have my my Mexicali blanket in the background here, and
Right.
and the last thing I do have one of the guidebooks.
Oh, nice. That's
So
amazing.
So this was the first year I would have gone, would have been 88,
Okay.
and this was the team members manual. And so it would have had all the basics of language and, things to pack and things not to pack, and all those things that we know. So, yeah, we're gonna kind of get right into it. The reason we're here doing this is because I went to Mexicali for 12 years. So I didn't celebrate Easter in the United States during the entire decade of the 90s, and 1 or 2 on either end, and maybe 12 or 13 years. So every year, I'll get to that second. So I saw a post that you had done on YouTube about one of the theme songs, and I thought, well, I love those theme songs, but you had said that there were 3, and I thought, wait a second, I thought there were a lot more than 3. And because in my mind it's just a big series of years, so many years and so many memories, t-shirts, designs, theme songs. So that's what kind of prompted this connection. So all that to say is that's what got us here. My name is Alden Olmsted. I'm grateful to anyone who's listening. I don't have a huge audience. I try to do this in my spare time, whenever I find someone that I think is good to interview. So that's my introduction. Yeah. So that's my introduction. And if you want to email me or ask me any questions, and the podcast link is not working, then just go to my website, aldenolmsted.com. Reggie's is heartfeltmusic.org.
That's right.
Okay. So, and this is a good time to introduce Mr. Reggie Coates.
Hey, great. Thank you. Yeah, well, I was so glad that you emailed me and that you're interested in one of the songs. I think it was Radically Committed, but we also have Take a Stand and Go the Distance. And those are 3 that I wrote the themes for, but there was a lot of other themes like Awesome God, and that they used songs by, different artists and such.
Right. And like Our God Reigns. Yeah.
Our God Reigns. Yeah.
Right. So that's so I want to start so if there is anyone listening who doesn't know what the Mexicali Outreach was at all, I was thinking about this just a little bit ago. The humorous description would be to say it was the Christian Burning Man before Burning Man. But I only say that to so people understand there was a big field and there was what we called Tent City. And basically what it was, and you can correct me if you have a better description, it was for youth in America and some in Canada, actually traveled a long way, who didn't want to spend their spring break, their Easter vacation, partying or going to Daytona Beach or Cabo or somewhere. they chose to spend it sleeping in a tent on the dirt and to minister and share the gospel message and give out food and clothing and befriend small villages in northern Mexico
Yes.
in a little place called Cuernavaca.
Mm-hmm.
So is that, and then for about a week, and then it was all channeled through Azusa Pacific University, which is east of Los Angeles in Azusa, California. And somewhere around the late 90s, my church stopped going with Azusa, but we kept going on our own. We just found it was more enjoyable to kind of stay with the in the churches and in the homes. It was a little bit of a different experience. But at the peak, which I think the peak could be maybe, I don't know, 85, 86 till mid 2000s, when we're talking 2,000 to 3,000 people in this huge field. And so, and unless you have a better description, we're going to watch a quick video, which is actually going to be really fun. So, because I don't do a lot of the screen shares, but let's share this and see what happens.
That sounds
So,
good.
here we go. This is the 1990s, and this is.
So this is our 5th year to be in Mexicali, and it's something that we try not to miss every year because it's really the heart of who the university is in terms of its Christian commitment and its commitment to service. And being with our students and their ministry is absolutely the highlight of our year. So Vivian and I wouldn't miss it for anything.
I think one of the things that I enjoy the most are the chapel services, because it's just so inspiring to see those almost 3,000 kids worshiping together and seeing them in their groups and bonding and showing love for each other, praying for each other, and it's always just a really moving, special time.
Welcome to Azusa Pacific University's Mexico Outreach.
All right, so I just wanted to show that for a little bit, just so we could.
That's great.
So we could see how it looked like. And anyone can watch that. If you want to go to MexicaliOutreach.org, you can see the theme histories. So I think we've set it up enough. We know what we're talking about now. Now I want to hear, how did you get involved in the thing? Before we talk about the songs, where did you grow up briefly, and how did you get sucked into this Christian Burning Man?
Oh my gosh. Well, I became a Christian in Southern California in Altadena, Pasadena area. And when I was 12, I became a Christian, but then moved up to Northern California when I was 15, picked up the guitar at 15. And I ended up graduating from San Jose State with a degree in vocal performance. And so I love playing guitar and I love singing. And I was in charge of a large church of the youth music program. And then I actually became a youth pastor in the Walnut Creek area. And they had been going to Mexicali for a couple years already. And here I became just their youth pastor. So I was going to go with them. So I decided to go with them. And that year they said, we need someone to lead music. And there's 3,000 high schoolers that go down there in Cuernavaca. And I thought, well, I'm going to be actually with my group in Tent City. And we were going out during the day to, Mexico villages to help build things and work, programs and stuff. And then would come in the morning and the evening, we would sing worship songs. So that's how I got involved. And so the first year, I think, was that Our God Reigns. And then I didn't write any music for that, but actually just led a bunch of music. And then later on was able to, when I knew what the theme was, able to write some songs for those. And they actually had 3 different camps. They had Cuernavaca, which I was in part of for about 5 years, and then Muscatel, which I was part for 5 years after that. And there was Veracruz, which a friend of mine was doing the worship for that one.
We didn't plan this, but your first year was my first year.
I think it was.
Our God Reigns.
88, yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
And then
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so that's kind of fun. That it was about the same time, and then I'm not sure quite why I stopped, but I think because I was a worship pastor and it just became a little busy. that I stopped doing that, but I loved it. It was great.
So at the very beginning, you were just, I mean, not just, but you were going out into the villages just like everyone else during the day.
Yeah, right. And so I did that for 3 years, which was good because I got to experience what all the students were and everybody else was too. And it kind of gave me, when they saw me up front, they also saw me at the bathrooms, too. And so, it's kind of a relational thing, which was nice. But then I think it was the 4th year, I was no longer youth pastor. I was a worship pastor, and that church was not going down, to Mexicali, but I kept going during, those weeks, the Holy Weeks.
Yeah. And so let's talk about the first theme. So who contacted you at Azusa, or how did you become the worship leader for 3,000 people?
Yeah, I think someone from Azusa who knew we were coming. I was calling them because I wanted to make sure I understood what was happening with the group. And I've got my dog in the background over here.
All right. Yeah.
But and so in talking, that's when they said, "Oh, we didn't realize that you are into music and you lead worship. Would you consider leading for us?" And also, someone from another camp knew me and said that I would be a good fit for that. But it seemed like it was quite a bit of a chore to do both. To go into the villages with my team and and also do that. But I'm glad I did it, and it was really fun for those years.
Yeah. And so let's talk about the first song. So tell me how you wrote it. Was it based on a verse? What was the inspiration for Radically Committed?
Sure. Radically Committed was, as I was thinking about it, I wanted to express that God was radically committed to me. And that's the only way that we can be radically committed to him, is that he did something to love on us, to get inside of us, to empower us, and to give us the strength to live the Christian life. And so basically that's where that theme came from, because it sounds a little bit a little arrogant to say I'm radically committed, but to think that, humbly to say we have Christ inside of us, and he wants us to, he wants to live out that commitment in us.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what that's about.
And did you test the song to anyone in Walnut Creek first?
Yeah, to my youth group, I sang it to them first, and then I had to, sing it for the staff at Azusa Pacific University.
Oh,
and
really?
they all liked it.
Oh, so you tested it before they would allow you to kind of.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure that it would be something that I could have as a theme, and because they did, and I had enough time, I actually created a cassette. When there were cassettes, I had a cassette that I had available that had that on it, plus other worship songs that I would use, so that they could take it home with them in their churches. They can learn these songs, like maybe Awesome God, or maybe even a fast version of Amazing Grace type of thing. But some songs that I would use live, they could take home and use those. So there's a tape.
So you were, how many cassettes did you produce that first year?
Well, that was my first one. I had 3 cassettes that were just me doing my solo songs. So one called Living in Jesus in 82, and then one called No Greater Love in 85, and Take It to Heart in 88. And so when I went the second year in 89, I already had the experience of creating these cassettes. So I did one called Radically Committed, knowing that it was going to get out there and serve the church, and they could be able to learn these songs.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's hear it. This will be the best part, especially for people that haven't heard this. You can give us a little snippet of it, and we'll link to the full songs. Let's hear it. Yeah.
Sounds good. So I'll just do a little intro and verse in the chorus. So Radically committed, do you understand why I'm living this way? Jesus came and did it, pulled me from the dark to the brightness of day. I can't can't stand on my own. It's like I'm living my life in a danger zone. I'm turning my heart to Jesus, knowing his unfailing commitment to me. I'm radically committed, living in the power of God. I'm radically committed, living in the strength of his love. Tired of playing those games, in my heart there's been a change. I'm radically committed, living in the power of God.
Nice, very nice. Very nice. Yeah. So did you so when you came back that week from that radically committed year, when it was, I mean, I remember the masses of people. It was a packed. I mean, I think our church had 2 full buses, a van, and maybe 2 cars. I mean, we might have had, I don't know, we might have had 75 or 80 kids from a small country church in
Wow.
Sebastopol, California. So
Yeah.
it was a massive event. And
Oh, yeah.
when you came back from that, what um, once you came down off that high, which takes a few weeks, as we know, and do the wash and get some sleep, what did where was your life at that point? And was there any sort of crossroads moment, or maybe I should work for Azusa, or I don't know what.
Yeah, no, I was really happy being a youth pastor at the time and working with the parents and the youth of, it was called Christ Community Church. And it was really um, very fulfilling for me. And I had no necessarily an ambition to be huge. I just wanted to serve God and be faithful in that. So it worked out really nice, but I didn't want to stop. So I just I wanted to think, what could I do for the next year to be able
Yeah.
to encourage folks, um, and that seemed to I didn't feel like I needed to have a big change of trajectory or anything
Okay.
like
Yeah.
that. So.
And did Azusa, like I said, after that first year that was just, it was your second or third year. I think there
Yeah.
was Holy Sweat maybe in there somewhere,
Oh, right. Yeah.
right?
Another one.
But
Yeah.
so after the Radically Committed, then was there any more pressure to come up with a song quicker so that they could, or was it pretty much just a repeat and you went into Go the Distance, or how did the second, take us through in between Radically Committed and Go the Distance, what happened?
Wow. Well, actually, I'm not quite sure, how many years there were before we did another one, but we kept dialoguing about it. And there was another, like I said, in Veracruz, it was another camp, and a friend of mine uh, wrote a song, Radically Committed, also, which was different. And so there was other camps that were writing songs to help that particular group of people, and usually people didn't kind of shop around or mix up their groups. They stuck with a group for years, unless they went off on their own because
Right.
they found it less expensive or something like that, like you guys. And but so it wasn't just me making the songs. There were some other people too to serve that particular village and that location.
Yeah.
But as we talked about it, when they said like Go the Distance, I thought, well, we can do this again. And they liked what I did with the cassette, and so I did another cassette, I think, with a CD that had Go the Distance on it.
Okay.
And
Well, do you remember any inspiration for that one, or was it
yeah,
where were you at the time? I guess is what you know.
Yeah, I was still in Walnut Creek as a youth pastor, and this Go the Distance was kind of to make a call to say, and I kind of thought of Ready, Set, Go. So I thought ready means, you're listening to God and you want to get ready to obey Him or to follow Him, and then set, you know where you're supposed to go, and then you go. Ready, set, go. And that's what kind of this song is about. And it's not just about, it's kind of a call to keep it going. So it's not just this week, but, go the distance, meaning keep it going and let the Lord use you in life as you
Right.
continue to go.
I think there was, now that I think about it, because I'm thinking of the colors, that Radically Committed was the bright orange.
Right.
I feel like there might have been a neon green in between Radically Committed and Go the Distance. I just can't quite remember. Actually, this is a good opportunity to do. We're going to do another quick screen share. We're
Okay.
going to go to the theme history of Mexicali.org. So we had, okay, so Our God Reigns, Holy Sweat, there's the Radically Committed. Oh, Awesome God. That's what it
Yes,
was.
I
And there was
remember
already
that.
a song, so you didn't have to do it.
Right. We used
Okay.
that song, Awesome God.
Okay. And then there's Go the Distance, and then there's two more before the second, the Take a
Right.
Stand one. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Okay, great. Well, that's it's
That's
handy
cool.
that they've done that, and it helps me out because it's
Yeah.
30 years ago my memory. So
And
all
it
right,
helps
so
us
now
remember.
so Radically Committed was maybe 91, and then Awesome God, and now we're in 93.
Okay.
Let's hear Go the Distance.
Sounds good. All right, here we go. Let's see. Go the distance, hold on, keep on putting your faith in Christ. Go the distance, you can be strong, walking by faith in Christ. Go the distance. On your mark, are you ready? Listen for God's call. Get set, get ready, give the Lord your all, and go. Leave the past behind, reach for what's ahead, press on for the prize, and do what Jesus said. Go the distance, hold on, keep on putting your faith in Christ. Go the distance, you can be strong, walking by faith in Christ. Go the distance.
Nice, very nice. Yeah. That one was good. I forgot that one was one with less intro. It just kind of started right into it. Yeah.
Yeah, I could do a little bit more of an intro,
No,
but I wanted to
yeah,
make it short. Yeah, and I teach at Valley Christian School in San Jose, and for the junior high, they have a missions class that goes out and packs food for different organizations and such. And they chose last year to have "Go the Distance" as their theme song,
Oh,
so that
nice.
was
Very
great.
nice. Yeah. All right. Well, let's keep it rolling. We've got, as we saw on the theme history, there were two more in between this and Take a Stand. Now, at that time, were you still kind of doing the same pattern every
I
year?
think at that time I had moved to be a worship pastor in Cupertino, and was still involved. I did skip 1 year, and that's when I went from um, being at Cuernavaca to Muscatel. So I'm not sure when Take a Stand was written, but it took a little bit more of a serious theme, like those two, Radically Committed and Go the Distance, are kind of entertaining
Yeah.
and kind of fun, like theme songs. But Take a Stand is do you want me to tell the story of it real quick?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. It's just the story of Stephen, and when he was um, being challenged by he was leading everybody to Christ, and so um, the leadership of the you know Jewish church at that point was like mad because a lot of people were becoming Christians,
Right.
and so they pulled him in and they held court and kind of lied about him, and he gave a little history lesson that actually was fairly long, and they could tell that he knew what he was talking about. And then when he started talking about Jesus and said, "You stiff-necked men, you're the guys that kind of turned against him," and they, he shared a little bit about God's love, and they just wanted to stone him. And at that point, he it says that he looked up into heaven and he saw Jesus standing at the right hand of God. And in every other place in Scripture, Jesus is seated at the right hand of God. So I felt like what was happening is he was so bold to stand for Jesus that Jesus stood for him at that moment and allowed him to see that. And it said that his face looked like the face of an angel. So it wasn't like he was angry or anything. He was just honest. And then they actually took him out of the city and stoned him. And I thought, how am I going to put this into a song? But, I really wanted to use it as saying, it's worth taking a stand because, God is true and we need to stand for him. So that's kind of what that.
So So then looking at, so this would have been 96, 95 you took off. And I'll tell you a story about that and my brief stage appearance while you were not on stage that I forgot about and just remembered recently. But let's do Take a Stand.
Okay, sounds good. I'm just going to do the first verse, which actually doesn't talk about Stephen, but lets you know a little bit about the song. So let's see. Okay. Oh gosh. Okay, wait. Oh my gosh, I got to remember the. Let's see. Here we go. With a heart of cold indifference, the church now lies asleep, while the poor and broken hearted are dying at her feet. God is calling us to wake up, to rise and take a stand, to love in Jesus' name and serve all those we can. Is there one who will take a stand? Take a stand for his honor. Take a stand to the glory of God. Stand in the strength and the love of your Father. His presence is in you. So stand in the name of the Lord. Take a stand, take a stand.
You can do the Stephen verse. Let's keep it going. Yeah.
You want me to do the Stephen verse?
If you remember it, sure.
Sure. Let's see. With a with a heart. No, that's with a heart.
The first one. Yeah.
Oh, God, I forgot that how it starts. With a take a stand.
With the something
beyond measure.
Stephen came to.
I think I got it. With a courage beyond measure, Stephen had to speak of the life and death of Jesus and the love of God so deep. But their anger turned to fury when he saw the Lord had stood in honor of the one who would boldly claim his word. Stephen died because he took a stand. Take a stand for his honor. Take a stand to the glory of God. Stand in the strength and the love of your Father. His presence is in you. So stand in the name of the Lord.
Yeah, very good, very good. Sorry to put you on the spot there. I knew the second verse had Stephen in it, and I
No, that's a good one because that's kind of what it's about. Yeah,
right. So and that was the first song that I learned on guitar. I mean, I bought a guitar after I don't know, after the first or second year of Mexicali, just inspired for different reasons. And
nice.
The funny part is at 19, I thought I was buying a guitar too late. At 19, oh yeah, I thought, I'm not gonna get it. What am I doing with my life?
I bet you used it a lot.
yes. So no, that's a good one, and I do have I think a relatable story to your missing year, and I just realized that this is why. So that that year in between, when you were in Veracruz, there was a different leader, and I don't remember who it was, but they were playing um, somehow the Psalm 40, which U2 does a version of Psalm 40.
Mm,
They someone had been playing that a lot, and it was in our minds, on our hearts, and we had
yeah.
kind of figured out what kind of relearning about U2 a little bit. And but I loved that song, and I kept bugging the leader, hey, why don't you sing this? Because I kept bugging him, and I think by Tuesday or Wednesday he was sick of me. He said, well, why don't you come and sing it? And so it was a little bit of a smaller year because some people had gone to Veracruz, so it was
Okay.
maybe 1,500 people, like half.
Yeah.
But I got up there and played a 40.
Wow. That's
and
great.
and
Wow. What an opportunity.
yeah, it was cool. I didn't, I didn't get close enough to the mic at the beginning, and I just, but I did it. I did it, and I finished the song, and that was it. Yeah.
Nice. That's
So
great.
that was
Really. Don't
my.
be hard on yourself. It's too easy to think about all the things like plugging in and the
I
things
know.
that didn't go right, but that's
No,
good.
it was fun. It was a good moment.
Good, good.
Okay, so we've got the three songs now. So then was Take a Stand your last year?
No, it
Or
wasn't. I actually went all the way, for 10 years. So I started in 89, skipped a year. So I think I went to 2000,
wow.
right? Yeah, so
Okay.
all of except 1 year in the 90s,
Yeah.
but I think I went all the way to 2000. And I know that Carolyn Coons was in charge of the Mexico outreaches, and she was kind of transitioning to not do that. And so I'm not quite sure, again, why I stopped. I'm sure it was just other things were going on.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
really enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah. Well, and one of my questions was uh what was your, I mean, it sounds kind of a typical question, but what's one of your best memories? Or is the whole thing just a good memory? Or is there one memory that you can think of that you think that one really stands out?
Mm. Well, I was thinking of two particular memories. One that is not a good memory. Probably the hardest thing is that right before we got there was two girls from the village that I was working with um, in Muscatal, and some guys picked them up and were going to take them. They went the opposite direction that the girls wanted to go. These two girls, and they ended up jumping out of the car because they wanted to get away from them, and they both died. So it really set a very serious time for that year, which was close to one of the last years I was there. But one of the
Yeah.
best experiences, which also is a tough situation, but they had a prison in Muscatel that it was a men's prison, but when men are arrested and they're with a woman, they arrest the woman too. I mean, it's kind of a weird thing,
Hmm.
but this men's prison had a women's section that had about 50 women in the men's prison.
Oh,
And
wow.
so we went to the women's section of this men's prison to give them haircuts, to do their teeth, and I sang songs for them while they're having pedicures and manicures, and just treated them like queens, and
Wow.
they really appreciated that. And of
Hmm.
course, I don't speak Spanish, but I was able to sing like three different songs in Spanish, like "Father, I adore you,"
Hmm.
"Padre, te adoro,"
Yes,
and
I
then
sang that for the kids. Yep.
right. And so
Yeah.
because of those things with the kids, I knew a few that I
Yeah.
could sing. And one, "Ain't Nobody," is a song that I wrote, and I sang a lot for the kids too. But I was able to learn just the chorus in Spanish and sing to them, and they really appreciated that a lot.
Hmm.
Talking about God's love.
Yeah. Well, that's a good segue. We did not plan this because that was the last. I told you this was about three songs, but it's actually about four because I couldn't interview Reggie Coates without talking about Ain't Nobody. So uh, let's tell me how that song came to be, when you wrote it, and what was the reaction the first time you played it for anyone?
Sure. I think I wrote it when I was in college, and actually sang it one of the first times in my dorm. Uh, and there's about 50 in the dorm room, and they actually liked the music, and the message was very positive. But these people in my dorm were just kind of crazy. They did things that were probably not appropriate, but I was with them for the whole year. So it was nice to be able to experiment to see how they would think about it. And then I started doing it in front of groups, and it actually became my most popular song that I've ever written. And so there's a lot of views on YouTube, and I do get royalties from churches that use the song. And so there's a time where this song brought in probably about $400 every quarter from churches using them and stuff. And so that's not why I wrote it, but it's just nice to know that it got out there. And on CCLI, it's one of those.
Yeah. And what was do you remember what the inspiration was for it? Or
well, there's the chorus. There is a musician named Andre Crouch, and I went to a concert of his, and he had so much expression and so much passion. He wrote My Tribute and a whole bunch of different songs, and he sang one called Can't Nobody that he wrote, and it was very similar, but I love that jazzy style. And so I went home and wrote my own verse that is totally different, called I've Got a Friend, and then put this chorus that sounded a lot like that. When we first start out as musicians, we do a lot of imitating people that we love, and like I learned a lot of John Denver songs too, and so I have different songs that sound like his. And so this is one that I was inspired by Andre Crouch.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, no, it's sometimes people can confuse inspiration with copying, but it's the seed, that you can't shake, but then it's like a filter. You're the filter, and it comes out in your own version with your own expression and your own background and creativity. So
that's right.
I remember very well when we were exhausted and had spent all day in the dust and the dirt playing soccer with the kids, and sitting on the bus and sweaty beyond belief. I remember coming back and just, there was a release of energy, of a relief when Ain't Nobody would come, because it was one of those songs that we looked forward to, and everyone didn't care what they looked like when they were singing it or doing the motions or anything. And so I really appreciate it. And I know a lot of people do. And
that's encouraging.
Yeah, and I think that's a good way to go out. So I want to, before we go out, tell us briefly what you're doing now. What do you do these days? Where do you live?
Sure, I'm living in Mount Hermon, which is a Christian conference center in Northern California, pretty much near Santa Cruz, California, and I am working at Valley Christian School in San Jose. I teach guitar there. I'm the head of the guitar studies. And I also am the president and CEO of Heartfelt Music Ministry, which I started in 1998. And it's a nonprofit organization that actually 5 board members steward the company, but I'm kind of the one doing a lot of the work. So I'm done like 19 recordings, and 8 of them are on you can get through Spotify or Pandora and listen to all those songs. And I have a YouTube channel that you can actually watch me play about 30 of those songs. And right now I'm working on a complete guitar course for guitarists that goes from beginning to advanced. And it's really thorough, that has music theory in it, chords, exercises, and it's going to be like 49 videos, and going from beginning to advanced. So that's what I'm working on right now.
That's great. Yeah, no, that's great. Do you ever have moments where you're doing, maybe some, some serious worship music, and then somebody screams out, What play Ain't Nobody, you know?
Definitely. Yes. And people know hand motions to it, ain't nobody love me like Jesus. There's a lot of fun stuff that goes along with it. But
Yeah. So because I guarantee you didn't come up with the hand motions at some
no,
point.
no.
You're
Even the little woot woot, which
Yeah.
that was from Mexicali.
Yeah.
Just the group decided to do that and it caught on,
Yeah, very nice. Well, thanks for coming on, Reggie. And I will, as I
Thanks for
said
having
before,
me.
I'll have all the links to your songs in the show notes, and would encourage everyone to listen and to spread the word. And if you've been on a Mexicali outreach and it's been a few years, maybe it's time to revisit the songs, but also the movement that the Spirit did
Yeah.
over those years. Maybe it's a good time for all of us to revisit that. And I think of the intro to Take a Stand a lot, with the heart of cold indifference, the world now falls asleep.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
we go through those cycles every few years in culture and society, or sometimes when they're more prominent or evident to even non-believers will say, hey, there's kind of a darkness out there, or what's going on. Even non-believers will say that. And
Right.
we know that the demons knew Jesus's name, so that's not surprising.
Right.
But I just think some of the truths that we ingested in between alabare, 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 in between those other songs.
Yes.
Some of the truths that you put down are, I think, important and still good to revisit today. So
Very much.
thank you for doing what you did, and for all those years of playing music and going out to the villages. And I appreciate it. I know a lot of people appreciate it too.
Well, that's so meaningful. Thank you so much for saying all that.
Yeah. So, okay, without further ado, thanks for listening to 5 Great Questions. And this version was called 3 Great Songs. And we're going to end it with the big one. Ain't Nobody.
I'll do the last little section in Spanish, which
Okay.
I don't know a bunch of it, and I hope it's correct. But so it goes like this: I've got a friend, ain't nobody like him. 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 Jesus, he's my friend. Ooh, yes. Oh, ain't nobody love me like Jesus. Ain't nobody know. You got it. Love me like the Lord. Ain't nobody love me like Jesus. He's my friend. Well, I've got friends that have laid me down, and I've got friends that have stood by my side. But Jesus Christ, he's more than a friend. He's my maker, my savior, and in him I'm satisfied. In him I'm satisfied. In him I'm satisfied. Oh, no hay nadie que amo como Cristo. No hay nadie que amo como Cristo. No hay nadie que amo como Cristo. He's my friend. Yes.
Very good. Very nice. I do remember that now. I remember No I Nadie that had happened at some point.
Yeah. Once I learned that little friend, I forgot how to say he's my friend, but
Yeah.
yeah, I knew it then.
Yeah, and I think I may have played it one time for the kids in our village, the No I Nadie version.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That sounds
not with all the verses, but we did we did the best we could. Yeah.
Wow. Well, again, thanks for having me on.
Sure. Thanks, Reggie. And appreciate it. And so you're down Mount Hermon. If anyone in the South Bay area, Santa Cruz, gets a chance to reconnect, just if you see them walking on the street, just yell, "Ain't nobody." And see what happens.
Sounds good.
All right. Thanks, Reggie.
Hey, you're welcome.
All right.
radically committed. Do you understand why I'm living this way? Jesus came and did it, pulled me from the dark to the brightness of day. I can't stand on my own. It's like living my life in a danger zone. I'm turning my heart to Jesus, knowing his unfailing commitment to me. I'm radically committed, living in the power of God.